Hey YouTube, how's it going? Retro Dave Nintendo back with another video. Hope all is well. It has been quite a while since I did a video, probably Christmas I think was the last time I recorded a video, so a good 2.5 months or so, coming up for 3 months now. Quite a while, been very busy, not much has been going on with the house. It's all a bit up in the air with that, so we'll avoid talking about that one. Yeah, I've been doing some retail therapy and instead buying plenty of games. Yeah, so today I'm going to be showing you 15 box complete Super Nintendo games, a mixture of PAL and NTSC. As I've mentioned previously, I'm upgrading my loose carts to box complete copies, and also working off of my list to acquire the box games that I don't yet own, or games that I don't yet own. So there's a mixture of PAL, it's pretty much even Stevens. So there's 15 in total, one more US than there is PAL, and a loose manual. So I shall yeah, get to it and kick off with the PAL stuff. So the first game, this was one that was not an upgrade, this was a straight out on the list game to get, and that is Super Adventure Island, in really nice condition, minimal wear, just how we like it. Just trying to look up into a mirror so I can see exactly what I'm showing you while I'm doing this. Again, these are all complete and with manual and everything else, everything's in fantastic condition. I'm not going to get it out of the box and show you right now. So Super Adventure Island, as you can see, classic platformer, pretty difficult, but then Adventure Island games are. So that is the first one, Super Adventure Island. Next up, Capcom title, arcade port, and that is Magic Sword. I've got this on the Xbox 360 arcade download. That's where I first played this game, and I really liked it, so I added it to my list of Super Nintendo games to get, and I managed to get this on auction. It's got a little bit of sinking on the back of the box, but again, these are old games, and it's going to struggle to get them all perfect. Happy with that. That is Magic Sword. I like the artwork on the front, it's pretty smart. Okay, next up, Konami Classic. I've owned this before, loose cartridge, sold that on quite a while ago now, and again we're just waiting for a decent condition box complete game to turn up, and that is the difficult Prince of Persia. As you can see, a real nice thing. They've all got like very minor creases and wear. What would you expect? Not got very far in this game. It's pretty difficult. This is a game I need to spend a bit of time with trial and error. Sorry. Lots of deaths in this one, and yeah, that is the classic Prince of Persia. Next up, again, I had this on the American loose cartridge probably a couple of years ago, sold it on, and now have bought a PAL box complete copy. I prefer the PAL box, the white box, and it's by the Bitmap Brothers, and that is the classic Amiga game, Gods. I love the art style in this and how this one plays. Very good, so very decent port of the Amiga version. It just looks like a straight port of the Amiga game. It does look really cool. I just wasn't quite happy with the American box art and the game. I wanted the PAL one. I preferred the PAL version, so I grabbed that. Again, it's got a little bit of sinking on the front, but other than that, really nice shape. So that is Gods. Now, next up was a cart upgrade. This one took me quite a while to find. This one's quite a difficult one to get hold of box complete, quite expensive. Again, this has got a bit of a sink on the front, but I was really happy to grab the PAL version. The American one's a lot easier to get hold of, but the PAL version is the one that I used to play with my friends back in the day. So it had to be the PAL version, and that is Captain America and the Avengers. Rock hard game, very frustrating. You can just see that the sinking on the top of the box there, but I'm happy with it. Other than that, very straight around the edges. But yeah, this is a balls hard game. Me and Duncan, Golden Age Gamer, played this 2-player probably about a year ago now, and I got further playing that with him than I ever got back in the day when I played around a friend's house. We used to probably get to the first level and then we were done for maybe the second level at best. I can't remember what level me and Duncan got to, but it was definitely a good 3 or 4 levels in. Really hard game, quite brutal, but yeah, I had to have it. Again, it's the one I had back in the day, so nostalgic purchase. That is Captain America and the Avengers. Right, the next 2 are upgrades from I already have these games boxed, but they're pretty badly beaten up. I want to get all my decent games, not a decent, 7, 8 out of 10 condition at a minimum. And these 2 games I had were pretty rough. I've owned them for about 5 years. Bought them cheap, and yeah, kind of wish I'd kind of waited for a better copy. So these are upgrades. They're not expensive games. They're pretty easy to get hold of. The first one is Theme Park. I used to play this back in the day. I borrowed it off a friend from school, and really liked it. Pardon me. There's a like a cheat password or a name you can put in to give you like loads of money and unlock all the rides, so you don't have to wait for ages to get everything unlocked. So it's pretty cool to kind of like throw everything in the park. Yeah, pretty cool little game. I do like classic theme park. So this is a decent upgrade compared to what I had before. And then the next one, the other game I had was Jurassic Park, and the condition of this, my other one, was really bad. It was the worst one, the worst box game I had. So I'm really pleased to upgrade this one. Again, this is one I used to play back in the day. Never got very far, but nevertheless a nostalgic one, so I needed to add it back into the collection. As you can see, it's in real nice shape. This is pretty much mint. Really happy with this one. So it's Jurassic Park. Okay, and the final PAL item is a manual. This actually came today. I got the box game off of Alex a couple of years ago, and it's Pop and Twinbee, but it's missing the manual. I got the box and the game off of him, and just got the manual. I had to import this from Italy. I think it was Italy. It was 20 quid just for the manual delivered. Recorded postage, but it's in really nice condition. So now all my Super Nintendo games that are boxed have manuals, they're all complete. So really happy to grab that. That's the last PAL item. Right, so a quick swig of a drink. Okay, now we're on to boxed American Super Nintendo games. So this one, I didn't even know this came out on the Super Nintendo. It is a USA exclusive, so there's no Super Famicom or no PAL release for it, and it's pretty hard to get, let alone box complete. It's even harder to find. Now I played this, it's a sequel to an arcade game that I own, so you might already narrow it down. And I played it at Arcade Club, and I really enjoy it, and I've never played another port of it other than the Spectrum one, which is, well, rubbish to say the least. And it's the Super Nintendo version of Operation Thunderbolt. So this was an ex-rental copy, so it has got like a few marks. Where is it? There's one on the side. I'll put my fingers on it. There's a mark on the side where a label's been taken off, just on there. But I did my best with getting that off. And there was a sticker on the cartridge and the manual, which I did get off with some label remover. But to be fair, this is actually a pretty decent, faithful port of the arcade version. You should see the screenshots there. I have got pretty far in this game. It is compatible with the mouse and the Super Scope. However, I've only tried it with the controller. I haven't got a Super Scope to try it with, and the Super NES mouse, I've just thought, nah, screw that. I just went with the standard controller. So yeah, decent game. Got pretty far, not yet finished it. It does get pretty difficult towards the end, and yeah, trying to move the crosshair with the controller, although you can speed it up, it is pretty tricky. So obviously the arcade version is best, but yeah, not a bad port for the Super Nintendo. So that is Operation Thunderbolt. Let's put that to one side. Right, well, pardon me, this one has got a bit of a story behind it. So this was a cartridge game that I had, and I found a box complete copy in the States, which is again quite hard to find and decent nick. So I bought it. It wasn't cheap. It turned up, and I was mortified that the actual game cartridge was nowhere near as described. I mean, the label was torn on. In fact, I'll show you. So the game is Super Chase HQ. So this is the cartridge that came in the box. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's a chunk at the top. The back of the label is torn. I mean, it is disgusting. I mean, the contacts are like black. You don't get to see it. But the whole thing is filthy, grubby and scratched. And this was down to be like mint condition. And the cartridge was 9 out of 10, believe it or not. But it was disgusting. So I raised a case of eBay. Eventually, and I got my money back, and I was able to keep the game. But the box and the manual and everything else was absolutely perfect. So I was happy with that. It's just the actual game itself was shit. So I've kept my loose cartridge and put it in this box set to keep it complete, and that cart's just the one. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but anyway, we'll go on to the game. So the box is really nice, Super Chase HQ. So this is kind of where the money was really in the packaging, but I was so pissed off that yeah, it wasn't as described, and the seller really fucked me off for that. But there we go. Happy to now have that finally box complete. I did actually manage to beat this the other week after a couple of attempts. It's actually not a bad little game. It is all like in-car perspective. There's no like third person. You are kind of like first person in the vehicle. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not the best game, but it's definitely worth playing. You know, for 20 minutes, half an hour. It probably takes about half hour, 40 minutes to beat it after a couple of continues. But yeah, it is a decent game. So that is Super Chase HQ. Next up, I already again had this game loose cartridge, and I've still got my loose cartridge. All I did was buy the box and manual for Brawl Brothers, so the sequel to Rival Turf. The box and the tray and the precautions booklet that's here was 30 quid, and I've just bought a manual. Actually, it should be coming today. It's not actually in here, but the manual for it as well cost me like another 25 quid just for the booklet to import it from the States. So that then makes my cartridge box complete. It's been quite nice actually, sourcing the parts to piece it together. It's been quite fun doing that. I was quite worried that I was going to take a while to find the box and the manual, but yeah, it kind of came up just kind of at the right time really. It has got a little tear just on the side there. It's only very small, but other than that, great shape. Really happy to have that box complete. Brawl Brothers. Next up, again, I had this on Power Loose cartridge probably about 4 years ago, and I now have the NTSC version in really lovely condition, box complete, and that is The Legend of the Mystical Ninja. I was playing this other week, and I've actually got further than I've ever got before. I can't think of the level or the world, but I think it was the second or third. I think it's the third world that I'm on now. This game is really, really good. I never really give it a chance back in the day. I had it back in the day. Didn't really understand that you have to grind a little bit to kind of. Luckily, the enemies kind of constantly respawn, and you just keep going back and forth the screen, get loads of money, go in the shop, buy the stuff you need. So it's a little bit of a grinding process, not too much. You know, you won't get fed up with it. But I spent a bit of time playing this the other week, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Got quite far, and yeah, it really is a decent game. And again, with Konami, you can hardly ever go wrong with a Konami title, especially on the SNES, on the NES. Again, little crease at the top, but overall very happy with that. I love the box art for this, it's fantastic. So that is Legend of the Mystical Ninja. Next up, classic shoot 'em up. This was an upgrade. I've had this loose cartridge a few years ago, but I had another shooter on the SNES which I was going to upgrade, which was Phalanx, but the box art was shite, and the game, although the music was better I thought than the game itself, I got quite frustrated with the bullets being really small on that game. I just didn't really want to cough up and pay for a box complete copy of it. I thought there's got to be better shooters out there, so I chose the classic Super R-Type as my weapon of choice for my American SNES collection for a side-scrolling shooter. So this was a lot cheaper to buy than Phalanx, and it's a much better game. So I was happy to get rid of Phalanx and choose this over that. Again, this is absolutely mint. It's got the poster, baggy, cartridge print. I mean, all these games I'm showing you have got everything in the boxes. really pleased with all of them really. So this is Super R-Type, again a difficult game, but nevertheless a very good game. And there's the back. Super R-Type, classic Super Nintendo title. Okay, 3 more left. I've had this a couple of times, loose cartridge PAL version. I've decided to buy the American version. One, probably because it's a bit cheaper. I haven't got like nostalgia for it, although I probably started playing this game, what, 8 years ago, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I never really got into it. I've only just now really give it the time to sit and actually really play it, and that is Shadowrun. So it's a classic RPG on the SNES. The box art on this one, I quite like it, but it's not probably as good as the PAL version. The PAL version's got a lot more going on in the box, but nevertheless, I got this imported from Europe, so I didn't have to pay any tax. So that kind of won me over really. Box complete, everything in there again. Really happy with it. And yeah, decent game. I actually played this for about a week and a half, 2 weeks straight, like every night that I was out here. Got fairly far. I've got kind of stuck now, so I need to kind of consult like a YouTube walkthrough or something to work out what I've got to do. I've got into this like club, and I need to kind of get someone out of there, and I don't know how to do it. So yeah, decent little game. Again, if you get a chance to play it, I do recommend it. It's a decent game. So that is Shadowrun. Okay, next two, quite big games. This one's quite hard to find. This is quite funny because I was in discussions with Jay and Alex about this game, and they found out that Jay was also looking at this exact game on eBay. I told him that I went to buy it, I put an offer in, and I went back to check, and it had sold for the asking price, and I was like, fuck's sake. Like I knocked like $10 off the price, €10, it was in Europe. €10 off the asking price, and it fucking sold. I was gutted. I spoke to Jay on the phone and said, oh, I know that game. And I said, I went to put an offer in. He goes, oh, what, you after it as well? I was like, yeah. So we both after the same game. He said he was going to buy it, and we were like, oh, okay, you know, another one will come up kind of thing. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, I was out at the park with the missus, just checked my phone. On the save search, this game popped up, so I clicked on it, and it was exactly the same game, same seller, same pictures as it was before. I thought, well, how come that's been relisted? And it had been relisted at the asking price, again €10 more than what I offered. And I thought, you know what, fuck it. I thought, oh, I'm not going to lose it over €10. So I went straight in and bought it. I mean, it must have only been listed about an hour, because I checked my phone before I went out. Just always go on eBay, followed searches, quickly scrolled down. I've got select titles on there, and as soon as I see a blue dot next to the game I want, bang, I'm on it and I'll have a look. Again, bought this, and I told Jay, he goes, you jammy bastard, but I've managed to grab this. Yeah, really happy to get it. And it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up that I'm not really familiar with. I think Alex mentioned it in one of his videos. I then checked out an emulated gameplay on my PC to try it out. I thought, yeah, this is actually a decent game. So I grabbed it, and that is The Pirates of Dark Water. I believe this is a cartoon series, maybe a cartoon in America, I'm not sure. I've never heard of it other than the game here, not the actual cartoon. But it is a decent side-scrolling beat 'em up. Plays a little bit like the Final Fight games. It's kind of quite fast, fast-paced. If you imagine Super Double Dragon's quite a slow, almost like moving through treacle kind of pace. Final Fight is kind of quite quick as you move around the screen. It's kind of like that. I actually prefer those kind of games, so it's really cool. It's by Sunsoft, so you can't go wrong. Music in the game is really good as well. Yeah, this is quite a difficult game to get box complete, and I was really happy to find it in Europe. So there was no import duty, which is amazing. So it's a win-win situation. So it's part of Dark Water. I played it, and I can't remember the level I got to again. I've been playing these over the last like 2.5 3 months, and I can't think of the level I got. I got quite far. I must have got 4 or 5 levels in. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, really good game, and definitely ramps up the difficulty the further you get into it. But I'll be going back to that and trying that again very soon. And finally, the final game. This is off the same seller as the Super Chase HQ. Thankfully, this one was in a bit more of an accurate description than what the other one was. The label did have a couple of like swirl marks on it, but I punted that game on and sold it, and again put my loose cartridge in this box to make complete. I did sell this game to Jay Cyber Snake, which I originally bought off of Pete SNEStastic, raised the money for other things. I think it went towards Popeye in the end. So I'll be looking to try and get this box complete again. Does not come up at all, hardly ever, and this came up. Thought, right, I've got to get it, and it is the Peacekeepers. So this is the final game in the like Rival Turf trilogy, if you like. So this is the American version, which is called Peacekeepers. It's the third one in the series. Really hard to find box complete, and yeah, I just kind of had to get it because I needed it complete. Again, I had my loose cartridges in here. I sold the other carton that came in it. This is complete. This has got everything in it. Manual, baggy, precautions leaflet, everything. Yeah, so really happy to have that back in the collection, and this time it's not going anywhere. So yeah, it took me an age to find this again after I sold it to Jay. So yeah, the Peacekeepers, that's the final Super Nintendo game for this video. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. 15 Super Nintendo games added into the collection. I've got one PAL SNES game left to find, and there's probably 2 or 3 US SNES games that I don't own at all loose that I want, and then I've got another one I want to upgrade to box complete, but I'll kind of update on that as and when I get to it. I have got some other pickups lined up for other systems, so keep your eye out for a future video on that. Until then guys, take it easy, and I shall catch you again soon on the video. Cheers.
Splendid! You are a real pro. Continue the game.